Last night, the Miami Heat take a 3-0 lead on the Bucks after the Bucks blew a 12-point lead. I got Tom Long to join me to have a debate. Tom, what's going on, man?
Doing well. Ready to talk about it.
So, what's your initial take? Is it good Heat or bad Bucks after the Heat take a 3-0 lead, and especially after last night, the Bucks blew that 12-point fourth quarter lead?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough question, honestly, because you see a lot of logic on both sides of the argument, but I think it really comes down to the good Heat part. They're playing really well as a team. Everything just seems to be fitting into place. All the players, they all know their role, and they're doing exactly what they need to do. And being in the bubble, the seeding doesn't really offer any advantages for the Bucks. So I think the Heat are really just they're the team to play, and they got it going.
Couple things. This is bad Bucks for a few reasons. It starts with the elephant in the room, Budenholzer. He's not getting his best players involved down the stretch. The Bucks have had in game one, they were up 96-95 with, I believe, 6 minutes left. Giannis went 0 for 1 from the field. It's unacceptable because we've held other superstars accountable when they disappear in the fourth quarter. Giannis can't shoot. This is no news. No, I'm not educating anyone by saying Giannis can't shoot. We all know that. But as a coach, your responsibility is to make in-game adjustments, game-to-game adjustments, and develop players and get your best players involved down the stretch. Having Giannis on the top of the key late in the game is not working because the Heat build the wall. The only thing I will give the Heat is Spo is doing a phenomenal job defensively. They're building that wall. When Jay Crowder's on them, there's always two Heat defenders ready for whatever way Giannis is going to spin. Chris Middleton's been beyond awful. Like I don't even think he's been playing in the fourth quarter. I haven't seen him at all. But the bottom line is Budenholzer has been a huge problem given he's not getting his best guys involved. Giannis is disappearing in the fourth quarter, and they're in these games. In game two, I think it was from like 5:45 to like 1:45 or something. The Bucks didn't score. That's how they're losing games. It's all in the fourth quarter, and at that point, it comes to coaching. But as the number one seed, there's no excuse not to be winning these games, and especially being down 3-0 to a number 5 seed. But like I said before, I said it in a previous video, the Bucks are not used to playing close games, and they don't have a closer. 37 of their 55 wins were 10 points or more, and Giannis or Middleton is not a closer, so I got to say it's bad Bucks.
I mean, I hear what you're saying on that point, but I think this is playoff basketball. It's not the regular season. I think that, Giannis goes out there and he does whatever he wants and he'll do it all. But when it comes down to the playoffs and teams actually strap up and play real defense, I think the Heat they're bringing the heat and they're bringing it on defense. They have all the pieces, and Bam and Jay Crowder are locking them up. And I just think that, you saw it earlier. I mean, the Bucks are known to fold in the playoffs, but I mean, they gave it to the Magic in 4. I mean, 5 games easy. I mean, I just think that the Heat, I mean, they're strapping up on defense and they're playing defense that we haven't seen in the NBA, in a couple of years. So, I mean,
we've seen this last year. Nick Nurse and Kawhi Leonard have a great defensive strategy of building the wall. What are you going to do when they build the wall? You knew it was coming. We knew in the playoffs, whether it was going to be the Celtics or the Heat, they were going to be able to contain Giannis by building the wall because he can't shoot. I don't know. I keep saying it all the time. I don't know why Giannis doesn't have a post game. He's 6'11", 260 pounds, the biggest freak of nature in the NBA, and I don't see him in the post ever. Middleton's disappearing. He's on a max contract, so I want to hold him to max contract standards. He should be able to close, get your own shot late in the game, but he's disappearing as well. Right now, the best player down the stretch, honestly, has been Brook Lopez, as crazy as that sounds. Ever since the restart, he's really ticked it up a ton, but the thing is, like, in game 2, Jimmy Butler he was nothing offensively. Yeah, he got that cheap foul call and hit the game-winning free throws, but he hasn't been playing that great himself in terms of game 2. But defensively, they've been awesome. The whole team collectively, I think, has been sensational. But offensively, what the Bucks have done all year, being down 3-0 to a number 5 seed after blowing out teams after teams. And another thing that I didn't even mention about Giannis, he's not used to playing a lot of minutes. They're blowing out teams in the weak Eastern Conference, and now we got tight ball games, and we're seeing him try to amp up his minutes, but he's not doing that either. Great players play many minutes in postseason times. LeBron James, for example, averages 42 minutes per game in the postseason. Great players, superstars, and Giannis is about to be a back-to-back MVP as well as the Defensive Player of the Year. We've seen guys play 45 minutes a game in the playoffs. That's what Giannis needs to do, and now he's amping up to 36 minutes, which is still not a lot. There's so many question marks for the Bucks moving forward. And after they lose this series, they honestly may be intact to not only trade Giannis. I think they should really trade Giannis. He's not going to sign an extension. Or get him a real co-star. We know it's not Chris Middleton. That contract was awful. They signed Chris Middleton because a team like the Bucks, a small market team, is never going to get a marquee free agent. So I think they should do whatever it takes to get Giannis a true co-star who could close out games because Giannis isn't a closer, or trade Giannis at this point.
I mean, I hear you when you say that stuff, but when you really talk about, the Bucks lacking the coaching perspective and they're lacking that, that one killer player that can give it to him down the stretch, the thing is that's all the things that the Heat are excelling at.
Right.
Like you're sitting here saying, okay, the Bucks, they're not coaching well. Well, you know what? Eric Spoelstra, he's got the pedigree. He's coaching them up. He's getting them to do exactly what they need to do. So, I mean, I think it doesn't really matter who the Heat are playing. I think they're going to take them all. I mean, they're going all the way to the finals. I got them as a lock.
Yeah, it's definitely I believe this matchup is a coaching matchup, and Spo is absolutely annihilating Budenholzer. I'm the one who says Budenholzer is overrated. I don't think he's a great coach. People kill me for that. They think it's Giannis. They said, oh, well, he can't shoot. Giannis can't shoot. He's never going to be able to shoot. He does not have touch. Some guys just can't do certain things. You need to find other ways to get him involved. That's why I keep saying get him in the post. Having Giannis in the post is going to create double teams right away. Nobody can guard that guy one-on-one. When he's going downhill like a locomotive, no one's going to stop him. No one can stop him in the post, but he has no post schemes. Part of being a great coach is developing players. That's something that this whole quarantine, having 5 months off, that's another thing Giannis should be able to do. There's no reason why he doesn't have a post game, but Chris Middleton is brutal. He's disappeared every single fourth quarter, and Giannis did the same thing. I believe last night he was 2 for 7 in the fourth quarter, and his last bucket came with 4:43 left in the game. That's unacceptable. Being arguably the best player in the world, a back-to-back MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. That's unacceptable. This is bad Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, I do hear you when you say that, and I think that the Bucks, they come down the court and it's either Giannis has the ball in his ice swing or Chris Middleton has the ball in their ice swing. They're not playing as a unit at all, which does point to the fact that they're playing poorly. But you just watch the Heat on the other side doing the exact opposite. They have ball movement. They have, it's always being swung around. They have the guys getting open threes. They're knocking down their shots. I mean, everything is moving as one unit for the Heat, which proves why they're the better team and why they're the ones that are hot right now.
Yeah, this is not Jimmy Butler carrying the Heat past the Bucks at all. This is a collective unit. Tyler Hero's been playing really well. Bam's been doing his thing. Obviously, Jimmy Butler as well. Jay Crowder's knocking down threes when the ball comes his way. I think he's done a sensational job on Giannis. But it's not – every team, coming into the playoffs, they said the Bucks are getting the East because, yeah, they have the best record. Every team, who's going to stop Giannis? It's a collective effort. Not one guy is going to stop the best player in the Eastern Conference. It's Jay Crowder has him, and you have Bam or Tyler Hero right there. Whatever way Giannis decides to spin, they're right there to stop him. That's why the Heat are so successful right now. And the one I give credit to, that's Eric Spoelstra.
Absolutely. He's got him going the right way.
That's going to wrap up today, though. I want to thank Tom for joining me. Anyone else who wants to come on for a debate, please shoot me a text or something, or DM. Tom, thanks again for joining.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks for watching the Falco Takeaway. For more daily sports content, please follow me on the Falco Takeaway on Instagram and YouTube, and be sure to check me out on the Sports Hit List and 6048 Sports.